Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Sue of BendnStretch with Sue. I love to do videos where I bring you yoga practices as well as Pilates practices. In today's yoga practice, we're going to do something a little bit different, as I do like to change it up and experiment with things. And we are going to be working with a blindfold or an eye mask today. And you might wonder, why do such a practice? And really, this is meant to kind of change it up, add a little spice to your practice without having to spend a lot of money on props or becoming a contortionist of sort. So instead, we're going to tap into that inner strength. We're going to tap into our inner focus, working with removing the visual distractions and challenging your balance, your strength, your core strength, and really deepen your body awareness by becoming more present and improving your focus. Now, because you can't look and see what's going on, instead you have to feel it. And our vision is really important in helping us to gauge where our bodies are in space. So now you'll be tapping into proprioception. Now you might wonder what proprioception is, and it's also known as kinesthesia or even a sixth sense. And the way that we experience proprioception is through some mechanosensory neurons that are located within the muscles, the joints, within our tendons. And it's really important as it plays a role with your brain in self-regulation, coordination, and as I mentioned before, body awareness as well as focus. So we are going to experiment with this today, and I invite you to do so in a really safe space so that if you are a little off balance, you're not going to bump into things where you could hurt yourself. So you want to have a clear space, and you can grab a scarf or an eye mask like I have here, and we'll get going. But first, do be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps the channel. And also give me one of these if you like it, and be sure that you hit that notification bell so you'll know when I upload new content. You can check it out. You can check me out in the next video. And namaste, friends. Here we go, ready to start, blindfold in hand and fastening it on as I align it, making sure that it will stay secure for the duration of the practice, not too snug, but just comfortable, making sure I can breathe easily enough. Now from here I sit tall in a comfortable position. I choose to sit on the heels. This is really comfortable for me. You might prefer to sit on a bolster, a pillow, or even a block, or sitting in cross-legged if you prefer. Just taking a few moments now to bring attention to the breathing, connecting with the alignment, and simply getting ready to connect with having sight blocked off during the practice. So it is a very unfamiliar sense, even though you may practice the meditation with the eyes closed. Just being blindfolded brings a whole new dimension to it. Now inhaling fully and exhaling, hands to the heart, remaining nice and tall, and just starting to introduce that movement and the sense of moving without seeing and really feeling the movement. Now in this next one, we stretch the arms wide, reach them tall, and as we sweep them down to the mat in front, simply moving into a child's pose. Now you can adjust the legs to bring them wider apart. You can connect the big toes together. So really just finding the child's pose that feels soothing and nurturing. From there, taking the left arm over to the right hand for a side child's pose or lateral child's pose, and moving in the opposite direction to do the same stretch to the other side. It feels so good to stretch the side body. Now as you take the hands underneath the shoulders, knees under hips, so coming into quadruped position, aligning yourself, engaging the core, just enough to support the back as you move through cow and through cat. Articulating through your spine, one vertebra at a time, is extremely therapeutic to the spine. It feels so good. It releases the lower back, releases tension in the hips, even in the shoulders and the chest. So it's an extremely effective pose, even though it is quite gentle. It feels amazing. Aligning by reaching one arm opposite leg away, holding, pausing, and then taking time to find that grounding again. So we switch it up to the other side. And you'll really find that even though this is a fairly simple pose normally, the fact that you're blindfolded adds a new dimension to it. Now bending that opposite leg and reaching toward the foot, the ankle, pant leg perhaps, or just reaching and intending in the general direction to deepen the stretch in the hip and the shoulder. So you ground once again, taking it to the opposite side, reaching the left arm and right leg away from each other, bending that right leg as you reach to clasp hold of your right foot with the left hand. Now pulling and pushing at the same time will help to deepen the stretch. Feels really good. It's a wonderful way to open your practice by opening up the body. Now, as you take the hands further forward, you deepen the stretch, pushing the hips back towards your hips for a deeper child's pose. But again, make it your own, adjust, find what is just ideal for you, really speaks to you today, especially in this very special blindfolded practice. Moving up to downward dog, feel your hips lifted high. Feel your hips lifted, but yet your heels grounded or intended to ground. And then eventually walk it to bring those feet towards your hands, meeting at the top of the mat, flattening the back as you inhale, exhaling to empty the breath. And your next inhale takes you through a tall mountain as you bring the palms together and float them down to your heart center. Breathing in again to lengthen and add a little back bend this time. Just starting to get more length in that back front body, and then take it to a forward fold, empty it out. Inhale halfway up, and as you plant the hands down, step back with the right foot, take it into runner's lunge. And just kind of experimenting a little bit with the depth as you eventually bring that right knee to the floor if you can, lifting the right foot away from the floor as you reach with your left hand. So very similar to our quadruped stretch we just did, but adding in a little more dimension to it by adding that twist, turning the torso as we reach and pull. As you release it, move back to your downward facing dog. From there, we take it to a vinyasa, moving through your plank, taking it into a cobra, an upward dog, whichever resonates with you. Take it up to downward facing dog. And once again, hips lifted high, chest pressing through to the legs, walking or hopping. Maybe play around with hopping to bring the feet to the top of the mat. Flatten your back when you get there. Then exhale it out. Reverse swan dive as you take your next breath in. Reach it up. Exhale. Hands land at your heart center. Very deliberate movement. It feels so different having the eyes closed in this way. As you lean back and exhale to hinge, taking that bow. Empty out the breath completely, and then inhale, flatten the back. And as you step back with the left foot, take that left knee to the mat. Again, we're repeating that same stretch to the left hip this time, reaching back with the right arm, turning the chest toward the right. So we add that little twist again.
really providing a lot of length in the hips. Feels good to have more grounding on the mat as I'm hunting around for it here. And then from downward facing dog, take a big stretch there. And then the heart presses toward the legs again, moving into a plank. A little bit of a vinyasa once more. Keeping the neck beautifully elongated. And in downward dog once again. Right leg goes up, reaches back, creating a long line of energy. As you bend the knee, squeeze it into the chest. Step that foot between the hands. Adjust the left heel down to prepare yourself to move into Warrior One. Warrior One feels so different blindfolded. It really is a play between balance and your position, finding your position in space. Move back to downward dog when you're ready. Repeating with the left leg into three-legged dog. And as you enjoy the stretch, bring the knee in and step that foot to the top of the mat. Planting the right heel down, Warrior One to the opposite side. Intending to square up the hips, open the heart, and lift it. Sweep the arms down. Stepping back with the left leg, downward dog, restoration place. And always substitute for a child's pose if you like. And move into vinyasa, or you can just stay in your downward dog. Vinyasas are always an option. They feel good. They're a great way to rebalance the body. But from your downward dog here, add a little walk. Walking your dog, and from here we move back to plank. Testing the balance into a side plank as you pivot on the outer left edge of the foot and left foot. Left hand, lifting the right leg maybe to really play with that balance. Take that right arm down and through regular plank into side plank on the other side. So right hand grounds you, right foot, reach up the left arm, find your place in space as you might attempt lifting that top leg up. Not there very long as we move back to downward dog. Pause and float the feet to the top of your mat. Inhale with your flat back. And exhale, squeeze out that breath. As you move up through tall mountain, hands land at your heart. Inhale to reach up once again. I really love that big long stretch. Take hold of the left wrist with your right hand. Pull to the right to stretch the left body. Shifting the hips over to the left. And then come through the middle, switch it around. Left hand grabs the right wrist. Lean into the right side. As you continue to move those hips to the right. And then as you come through the center again, palms come together, lean it back, and take a bow. Separating the hands, melt your belly toward your thighs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step back, right foot. Bring that right heel all the way down to the floor. With the toes pointed straight ahead, extend your right arm up, keeping your left arm alongside that left leg. Then take it from side angle into extended side angle. If you need a little propping up, you can always take your left elbow on the left thigh. But eventually, as you bring your right hand down, add a twist, reaching up with the left arm. So it's a nice, easy twist here. But depending on your mobility, it may feel not so easy. So be sure to listen to your body, especially now that you've removed that visual aspect. Now as you sink the hips, moving into more of a lizard as we open up that left leg on the outer edge of the foot. Slide your left arm behind the left leg, maintaining that balance on the ball of the back foot. See if you can maybe bind through crisscross. And then as you take the hands to the top of the mat, you step it back to downward dog. Breathe. Take the time you need to really tap into the sensory portion of these movements rather than just going through the movements. You're really forced to be more attentive to how your body feels. As you move from downward dog, feet to the top of the mat, inhale halfway up, exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, reach those arms wide, reach them tall. Bring the hands once again together as you lean back and down to the heart center. Press ground through those feet. Inhale, reach up, lean back. Exhale, take it into a bow, separating the hands. Melting belly towards your thighs once again as you fold. Inhale halfway up. And as you exhale, step back with the left foot. Big step back, preparing to come into side angle as you bring your right arm along the inside of the right leg. Making sure that you are rotating the navel toward the ceiling, reaching with that left arm up, and then reaching with the left arm alongside the ear, stretching out that entire left side of your body. Circle the arm down, moving onto the ball of the left foot as we're still staying grounded as we reach up for our easy twist first. I was taking it a lizard, but just a moment before we do that. Now, planting the right hand down, we come on the ball of the left foot, open the right knee to the side, opening the sole of the foot away from the mat, reaching behind the right leg with the right arm. Take that right hand, if you can, on your lower back, playing around with bringing the left one there as well. Probably find one side's a little easier than the other. You want to try to sink those hips nice and low. So you release it. When you're ready, take it back to downward facing dog. Enjoy the stretch, enjoy the pause. That's quite challenging, moving through those poses, just going by feel. Now as you come through plank, lower all the way to the mat. As you reach the arms alongside your body, reach for the feet, bending the legs, and come into bow, opening up beautifully the anterior body. It's great for the hips, great for the abdomen, the chest, the thighs. And then as you release it, take it through cobra and push it back to a wide angle child's pose once again. Allow yourself that release. It feels so good to pause here. And in this pose, you would naturally have the eyes closed. So it feels very familiar to come back to it. Now from your downward facing dog, moving up to it when you are ready, float the feet to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway up. And then as you breathe out, fold once again. Such a great stretch. Inhale, reach it up, tall mountain. Lean back, hands land at the heart as you sink into chair pose. Utkatasana. Keep sinking the hips low. We bring our bottoms all the way to the mat. Open the knees out wide. Reach with your peace fingers for yogi lock to the big toes as we come into boat. Holding on to the big toes, spreading the legs open, challenging the balance here a little bit more, bringing those legs together, and from here release the big toes and see if you can balance your way down all the way to your mat. As you come into that supine position, walk your feet in toward the hips, presses the hands and the feet, interlace the fingers to move up into your bridge, and from here, extending your right leg up, flex the ankle and cross your right ankle over top of your left thigh. So we come into a pigeon pose, reclined pigeon, and then you can simply keep the ankle there as you float your left knee towards your chest. Hold on to the back of that left leg with both hands and deepen that stretch in the glutes. This is really great for the piriformis, which is an area that does get really tight for those of us who are really active or those who may do a lot of sitting. Now keeping the ankle where it is, add a twist as you open up those arms nice and wide. Knees go to the right, but if possible, try to keep your right ankle on your left thigh. and that will help to release those hips even more. So you bring it back up, uncross the ankle, bring the arms back alongside the body as you prepare to come back into your bridge. From here, lift it up, extending your left leg up, crossing the ankle over, lift the hips, and then release the hips to the mat. As you keep the ankle crossed, reach for the back of your right leg, pulling in for that figure four or reclined pigeon. Use your breathing to draw the right knee closer and closer. Every time you exhale, you feel yourself stretching those glutes a little bit more. As you release the foot to the floor, open up the arms nice and wide, keep the ankle where it is, let the knees sway over to the left side. Spinal twist. This is the way that rebalances your spine in the most effective of ways, particularly following back bends. And it's an awesome way to prepare yourself for Shavasana, that final relaxation. So enjoy the twist. Try to slacken the muscles in the face as you bring the legs back up. From there, you're going to uncross and find a comfortable position in alignment for your feet, your legs, your arms. You might bring them a little wider apart. You might take the arms a little bit wider away from the body. Turning the palms upward is a wonderful way to open the chest, releasing the shoulders, keeping the airways nice and open as you lay back here. Try to release, try to let go, try to surrender any and all tension. Pausing and relaxing before moving on with the rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this experiment of moving through a blindfolded practice. There's so many benefits to this. I hope that you will practice this even if it's only one pose at a time. Maybe making your balance pose or your standing poses ones that you explore in this manner. So thank you so much for your time today. I hope you have a beautiful day. Wishing you love and light and peace. Namaste, my friends. Namaste.